I've been living here in Winston-Salem since 2003, and I can tell you it's a really great place to live. I've been here long enough to see the things that's really good and some things that's not very good. So in this video, I wanted to share with you the 3 things that I love about Winston-Salem and the 3 things that I do not like about Winston. Hey everybody, my name is Mark Saunders with Saunders Realty. Welcome to our YouTube channel. If this is your first time here, we're all about the Winston-Salem, North Carolina area, as well as residential real estate. If those are topics that you like, be sure to click the subscribe button below. So I moved to Winston-Salem when I graduated from Appalachian State back in 2003. And for me, Winston was a huge town. I grew up in a small little town in the middle of North Carolina called Franklinville, which I always laughed and said population of Franklinville is around 12. And that we had a caution light that burned out and we didn't even have to fix it because it wasn't even being used that much. So for me, Winston, when I first moved here, was this huge, gigantic city. But in this looking back at the big scope of things, it is nothing like Charlotte and nothing like Raleigh or anything like that. So here are the 3 things that I like about Winston-Salem. The first one being that it kind of has that small town feel, even though there's things to do. So for example, you can go downtown Winston-Salem. We've seen a lot of new restaurants opening up. Hopefully COVID don't wipe them all out, but there's a new selection of restaurants. The downtown Winston area has really gone through a major renovation and is getting really, really nice. But the cool thing about Winston, what a lot of people don't talk about, are there's small little communities of towns surrounding Winston-Salem. And each town has its own kind of feel and just different, like Kernersville and Clemens. Me personally, I live 2 towns north of Winston in a town called King. It's a very small town. Everybody knows everybody. You see people out on Saturday, and then you see them in church on Sunday. That's kind of what I like growing up in a small town. But the cool thing is I could be downtown Winston-Salem in about 25 minutes. My office is in Winston-Salem, and it's about a 10-15 minute drive from my house, even though I don't live in Winston. But it's so easy to access it. So if you like that really small town feel, but you want to be close enough to town to do something, you should check out King, Clemens, Kernersville, Earl Hall, Walkertown, areas like that that surround the city. So the second thing that I like about Winston-Salem is most of the time, the traffic here is not very bad. Now, we have our rush hours, 5 to 6, Monday through Friday on 52 and 40. But usually traffic is not that bad. Now, it was when they were rebuilding Business 40 through downtown Winston, but they've been improving the roads around here slowly but surely, and they have gotten better. Matter of fact, they're in the process of building a new bypass that will take you around Winston-Salem and to get you off Highway 52. That's scheduled to be completed for the first part of it in 2022, so that means the traffic's only going to get better. But I have clients that move here from other towns. They're like, man, traffic for, in LA or whatever, is just horrible, 4 or 5 hours a day sitting in traffic. We don't have that problem here. I don't think I could handle that. When I drive to Charlotte, I'm always just a nervous wreck based off how the traffic is and how everybody's going 100 miles an hour. You don't see that in Winston-Salem. So the third reason that I love Winston-Salem is just the location as a whole. You can be in the mountains in about an hour and a half. So you could be up at Boone, snow skiing if you want to, or in about 2.5 to 3 hours, you could be at the beach, Myrtle Beach or Carolina Beach, Emerald Isle. A little bit further, you could be at the Outer Banks. So it just depends on what you want to do. It's a great location to be able to go either way that you want to go. Go to the mountains, go to the beach, whatever you want to do. Very, very easy access to the main interstates throughout North Carolina. So here are the 3 things that I do not like about Winston-Salem that as we grow, maybe they can fix it. So number 1, it might be obvious, it's not a big town like Charlotte or Raleigh. We don't have any pro sports teams. I love going to Charlotte and watching the Hornets play and just hang out downtown occasionally. I couldn't live in Charlotte just because the hustle of it and everything, but I like going down there and seeing the Hornets and teams like that. We don't have any pro teams. Years and years ago, they thought about getting a pro baseball team here, but it fell through. We do have Wake Forest, so if you're a Demon Deacon fan, Winston-Salem is for you. But for the most part, there's really not too much pro sports that goes on around here. If you wanted to, you can go into Greensboro and see the Hornets B-League team play there at the Greensboro Coliseum, but overall that doesn't happen here in Winston. The second thing that when I was younger was an issue, now as I've gotten older, it's really not an issue for me at all, but Winston-Salem really does not have a nightlife. Greensboro has much more of a nightlife. Charlotte has a lot more. Winston-Salem's kind of laid back. You go down on a Saturday evening downtown or whatever, and you can hang out at restaurants and everything, but we don't have the nightclub scene or anything like that. So if you're into that, you might want to do a little bit more research, because there's just not much offered in Winston-Salem as far as nightlife. And the third thing that's kind of frustrating that I don't like about Winston-Salem is very rarely do we get good concerts that come into our area, and that kind of goes into the nightlife too. Occasionally you have some big bands, groups come in to the Wake Forest area. Billy Joel was here not long ago, Guns N' Roses, but that's pretty rare. If you like the concerts and the music scene overall, Winston's kind of missing out on some of that. You can go to some of the local bars and restaurants downtown. They might have some music, but overall concerts and just live music, you just don't see very often. But like I said, as I'm getting older, that doesn't really matter. That might have changed. I just hadn't been downtown Winston enough to really see it. But you have to search it out. Greensboro kind of has a lot more going forward on that side of things, and definitely Charlotte and Raleigh. So there are my 3 things that I like and 3 things that I don't like about Winston-Salem. Would love to know your thoughts. What do you like? What do you not like about Winston? Leave me some comments below. We read and respond to all of them. Thanks, and have a good day.